Reichs Air Force Ministry, January 19, 1945. On this day, Daimler-Benz Chief of Development, Dr. Fritz Nallinger, introduces the Amerika bomber project to Goering's entire chiefs of staff. The solution for an attack on Amerika, Nallinger says, is the so-called piggyback method. Tests had shown that it was possible to use a large cargo plane to bring smaller planes to their target areas, where they would disengage and continue independently. As soon as Nallinger projects the engineer's draft of his bomber onto the wall, it becomes clear what the underwriting idea for his project is. It is the use of manned bombs steered by suicide pilots to produce maximum destruction of their targets.
Es war eine Radikalisierung des Denkens, die eigentlich unmenschlich ist. Ich muss sagen, das kann man eigentlich nicht machen. Geht gegen jedes Rechtsempfinden. Und ist der Beginn dessen, was Sie vorhin sagten, Terror. Ich nehme mein eigenes Leben, setze ich aufs Spiel, 100%, wenn ich woanders das Mehrfache umbringen kann.
The project wins approval. It is January 1945, 4 months before the war's end.
I think Hitler had all kinds of dreams of glory and dreams of hate. And I can well imagine him imagining that New York was being bombed and firebombed and destroyed and the skyscrapers falling into the street. He was a dreamer of considerable ability. He dreamed of a lot of things. And I think that was one of his good hate dreams he had.
From the diary of Albert Speer.
I remember how in the Reich headquarters he had them show the films of London burning, the clouds of fire above Warsaw, and the exploding convoys. And I recall the greed that filled him each time. I never saw him so beside himself as he was towards the end of the war, when in his delirium he fantasized how it would be when New York went down in a sea of flames. He described how the skyscrapers would transform themselves into gigantic burning torches, how they would collapse on each other, and how the exploding city would reflect against the dark of the night sky.
The Amerika bomber was never put into action, but the German suicide pilots were actually recruited. In order to stave off the approach of the Red Army, they crashed into the bridges over the River Oder. A shared farewell letter has been retained for posterity.
Und der Abschiedsbrief lautet nun wie folgt. Kameraden, heute um 19:48 Uhr erfüllt sich unser Schicksal. Wir geben uns freiwillig für unseren Führer, für unsere Heimat, für Deutschland. Heil euch, Kameraden. Da haben sie alle unterschrieben.
The suicide deaths of the pilots were totally senseless. One day after they crashed into them, the Red Army reconstructed the bridges. But the careers of Hitler's engineers continued long after the end of the war. Professor Willy Messerschmitt developed new aircraft for the German army. Werner von Braun built the first moon rocket for the United States. Professor Kurt Tank went to Argentina and designed jet airplanes for Perón. Dr. Fritz Nallinger was elected to the board of Daimler-Benz and was awarded the Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany.
Leave flame, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign. Ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire.